The Godfather is a 1972 American crime film directed by Francis Ford Coppola and produced by Albert S.Ruddy, based on Mario Puzo's best-selling novel of the same name. It stars Marlon Brando and Al Pacino as the leaders of a fictional New York crime family. The story, spanning 1945 to 1955, chronicles the family under the patriarch Vito Corleone, focusing on the transformation of Michael Corleone from reluctant family outsider to ruthless Mafia boss. Paramount Pictures obtained the rights to the novel before it gained popularity for the price of $80,000. Studio executives had trouble finding a director, as the first few candidates turned down the position. They and Coppola disagreed over who would play several characters, in particular Vito and Michael. Filming was done on location and completed earlier than scheduled. The musical score was composed primarily by Nino Rota, with additional pieces by Carmine Coppola. The film was the highest-grossing film of 1972 and was for a time the highest-grossing film ever made. It won the Oscars for Best Picture, Best Actor and Best Adapted Screenplay. Its 7 other Oscar nominations included Pacino, James Caan, and Robert Duvall for Best Supporting Actor and Coppola for Best Director. It was followed by sequels The Godfather Part 2 and Part 3. The Godfather is widely regarded as one of the greatest films in world cinema and one of the most influential, especially in the gangster genre. It was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry in 1990 and is ranked the second greatest film in American cinema by the American Film Institute. Plot: in 1945, at his daughter Connie's wedding, Vito Corleone hears requests in his role as the Godfather, the Don of a New York crime family. Vito's youngest son, Michael, who was a Marine during World War II, introduces his girlfriend, Kay Adams, to his family at the reception. Johnny Fontane, a famous singer and godson to Vito, seeks Vito's help in securing a movie role. Vito dispatches his consigliere, Tom Hagen, to Los Angeles to talk the obnoxious studio head, Jack Woltz, into giving Johnny the part. Woltz refuses until he wakes up in bed with the severed head of his prized stallion. Shortly before Christmas, drug baron Virgil the Turk Sollozzo, backed by the Tartaglia crime family, asks Vito for investment in his narcotics business and protection through his political connections. Wary of involvement in a dangerous new trade that risks alienating political insiders, Vito declines. Suspicious, Vito sends his enforcer, Luca Brasi, to spy on them. Sollozzo has Vito gunned down in the street, then kidnaps Hagen. With Corleone firstborn Sonny in command, Hagen is pressured to persuade Sonny to accept Sollozzo's deal, then released. The family receives fish wrapped in Brasi's bulletproof vest, indicating that Luca sleeps with the fishes. Vito survives, and at the hospital Michael thwarts another attempt on his father. Michael's jaw is broken by NYPD Captain Mark McCluskey, Sollozzo's bodyguard. Sonny retaliates with a hit on Tartaglia's son. Michael plots to murder Sollozzo and McCluskey. On the pretext of settling the dispute, Michael agrees to meet them in a Bronx restaurant. There, retrieving a planted handgun, he kills both men. Despite a clampdown by the authorities, the 5 families erupt in open warfare and Vito's sons fear for their safety. Michael takes refuge in Sicily, and his brother, Fredo, is sheltered by the Corleone's Las Vegas casino partner, Mo Green. Sonny attacks his brother-in-law Carlo on the street for abusing his sister and threatens to kill him if it happens again. When it does, Sonny speeds to the home, but is ambushed at a highway toll booth and riddled with submachine gun fire. While in Sicily, Michael meets and marries Apollonia Vitelli, but a car bomb intended for him takes her life. Devastated by Sonny's death, Vito moves to end the feuds. Realizing that the Tartaglias are controlled by the now dominant Don Emilio Barzini, Vito assures the five families that he will withdraw his opposition to the heroin business and forego avenging his son's murder. His safety guaranteed, Michael returns home to enter the family business and marry Kay, who gives birth to 2 children by the early 1950s. With his father at the end of his career and his brother too weak, Michael takes the family reins, promising his wife the business will be legitimate within 5 years. To that end, he insists Hagen relocate to Las Vegas and relinquish his role to Vito because Tom is not a wartime consigliere. Vito agrees Tom should have no part in what will happen in the coming battles with rival families. When Michael travels to Las Vegas to buy out Green's stake in the family's casinos, the partner derides the Corleones for being run out of New York. Michael is dismayed to see that Fredo has fallen under Green's sway. Vito suffers a fatal heart attack. At the funeral, Tessio, a Corleone capo, asks Michael to meet with Don Barzini, signaling the betrayal that Vito had forewarned. The meeting is set for the same day as the christening of Connie's baby. While Michael stands at the altar as the child's godfather, Corleone assassins murder the other New York dons and Mo Green. Tessio is executed for his treachery. Michael extracts Carlo's confession to his complicity in setting up Sonny's murder for Barzini. After Clemenza garrots Carlo with the wire, Connie accuses Michael of the murder, telling Kay that Michael ordered all the killings. Kay is relieved when Michael finally denies it, but when the Capos arrive, they address her husband as Don Corleone. She watches fearfully as they close the door on her. Cast: Marlon Brando, in the title role, is Vito Corleone, the Don of the Corleone crime family. A native Sicilian, he is married to Carmela Corleone and the father of Tom, Sonny, Fredo, Michael, and Connie. Al Pacino as Michael Corleone, the Don's third son, recently returned from World War II. The only college-educated family member, he is initially steered from the family business. His progression from the family's last-born son to its ruthless boss is the main subject matter of the film. James Caan as Santino, Sonny Corleone, Don Corleone's hot-headed eldest son. As underboss, he is the heir apparent to succeed his father as head of the Corleone family. Richard S. Castellano as Peter Clemenza, a caporegime for the Corleone family. He is an old friend of Vito Corleone and Salvatore Tessio. Robert Duvall as Tom Hagen, Don Corleone's informally adopted son. He is the family lawyer and consigliere. Unlike the Corleones, he is of German-Irish descent, not Sicilian. Diane Keaton as Kay Adams Corleone, Michael's non-Italian girlfriend and his second wife and mother of his 2 children. John Casale as Alfredo Fredo Corleone, the middle son of the Corleone family. Deeply insecure and not very bright, he is considered the weakest Corleone brother. Talia Shah as Constanzia Connie Corleone, the youngest child and only daughter of the Corleone family. Her wedding reception begins the film. Gianni Russo as Carlo Rizzi, Connie's abusive husband. Introduced to the Corleone family by Sonny, whom he ultimately betrays to the Barzini family. Abe Figueroa as Salvatore Tessio, a caporegime for the Corleone family. He is an old friend of Vito Corleone and Peter Clemenza. Al Lettieri as Virgil the Turk Solozzo, a heroin dealer associated with the Tartaglia family. He seeks both financial investment and the protection of the Tartaglia family's narcotics business through Don Corleone's political connections. Sterling Hayden as Captain Mark McCluskey, a corrupt NYPD police captain on Solozzo's payroll. Lenny Montana as Luca Brasi, Vito Corleone's enforcer. Richard Conte as Emilio Barziani, Don of the Barziani family. Al Martino as Johnny Fontaine, a world-famous singer and Vito's godson. The character is loosely based on Frank Sinatra. John Marley as Jack Woltz, a powerful Hollywood producer. Alex Rocco as Mo Green, a longtime associate of the Corleone family who owns a Las Vegas hotel. The character is based on Bugsy Siegel. Morgana King as Carmela Corleone, Vito's wife and mother of Sonny, Fredo, Michael, and Connie, and adoptive mother to Tom Hagen. Salvatore Corsito as Amerigo Bonacera, a mortician who, in the opening scene, asks Don Corleone for revenge against two boys who severely beat and attempted to rape his daughter. Corrado Gaipa as Don Tomasino, and old friend of Vito Corleone, who shelters Michael during his exile in Sicily. Franco Sitti as Callo, Michael's bodyguard in Sicily. Angelo Infanti as Fabrizio, Michael's bodyguard in Sicily. He helped set up the assassination attempt on Michael that kills Apollonia. Johnny Martino as Paulie Gatto, a soldier under Peter Clemenza and Vito's driver. He is executed for his part in the assassination attempt on Vito. Victor Rendina as Philip Tartaglia, Don of the Tartaglia family. Tony Giorgio as Bruno Tartaglia, Philip Tartaglia's son and underboss of the Tartaglia family. Sonny Corleone has him assassinated in retaliation for the shooting of Vito Corleone. Simonetta Stefanelli as Apollonia Vitelli Corleone, a young woman Michael meets and marries while in Sicily. She is killed a few months later in an assassination attempt on Michael. Rudy Bond as Don Cuneo, head of the New York-based Cuneo family. Louis Gus as Don Zalucci, Don of the Zalucci family of Detroit. Tom Rosqui as Rocco Lampone, a soldier under Clemenza who eventually becomes a cap regime in the Corleone family. Joe Spinell as Willie Cicci, a soldier in the Corleone family. Richard Bright as Al Neri, Michael Corleone's personal bodyguard and hitman who eventually becomes a cap regime. Julie Gregg as Sandra Corleone, Sonny's wife and later widow, and the mother of the 4 children. Jeannie Linero as Lucy Mancini, Sonny's mistress. Sofia Coppola as infant Michael Francis Rizzi, the nephew and godson of Michael Corleone.